Hey there everyone. I want to welcome you to watching this video, of course, for fantasy football for beginners and learning how to do so. What I'm looking at right here first is what's considered the perfect lineup. This is according to sportingnews.com, and it was on the DraftKings contest. So this was the highest scoring perfect lineup. And that you can see as it included Brady at quarterback, C.J. Anderson, Todd Gurley, J.J. Nelson. That was a surprise, except he did have a good week one. Michael Crabtree, sort of a surprise, not as expected by many experts, but I myself believe that he would be, at least for a while, better scoring at points in fantasy than Cooper, the other receiver in the Raiders. Emmanuel Sanders, which was unexpected even by myself. But when you look at that situation, he did have a favorable matchup with a hurt secondary with Dallas, so he did do very well, and he always wants the ball, and he's good at doing so. So he's a good low cost option right now when you balance your lineups, finding low cost players. So as a beginner in daily fantasy, that's what you always want to focus on doing. Travis Kelce, he's one of the best tight ends, no surprise there. Ty Montgomery, not a surprise, at least not to me, even though he's shown here to be considered volatile, but I don't believe he is. He's a consistent performer, running and receiving of the ball. And the Buccaneers defense, this is not really so volatile for this matchup because the Bears are considered to be a bad team and not going to win a lot of games. So, given that fact, any team that plays them will score a decent amount of defensive fantasy points. Of course, Brady came out firing. Interesting thing about this, though, was that there was not a particular receiver. At least, well, actually, there was. He was a tight end, Gronkowski. As you can see here, scored very well in this particular matchup. That was a lineup for the money game here, but there was only an investment of 25 cents, I believe, on this particular contest. If I'm correct, yeah. So for 25 cents, hey, great, you're in the game. If you just have that, you can enter a 1K Sunday NFL contest, for example. And back to Gronkowski, he scored a lot of points as well on FanDuel. And you just see here some of the same players. Just comparing mine real quick to the winner. Even though I was 30 points away, I still won $2 out of it, so that's indeed a profit. With I had Rivers instead of Brady. I had Brady in other contests, but but also Kevin Hogan did well, I know, in this particular game. So many times you'll see the winner will have a stack of a quarterback and a wide receiver. So remember that on beginner level strategy to do so. If you can match up the quarterback either with a wide receiver or a tight end, it's always a good idea to do that. And as we're just seeing here, some of the same players, of course, that turned out to be the perfect matchup. But do you need to be perfect? No, especially not to win your fantasy, regular Yahoo or wherever you play league. As being a beginner, you don't have to be perfect because these lineups are, even in daily fantasy will still get you winnings. And so when you focus on balancing out your rosters, is finding the best prices. Of course, if you know fantasy strategy in general and how game flow works, if you understand that, you have a learning curve, of course, to understand better as a beginner. But these players are ones that are highly ranked, a lot of them on a particular optimizer, and that's Draft Dashboard. That'll help you to easily, as a beginner, rank the best players, the studs to put in your lineup, and focusing on how to build and construct a lineup. So I will be giving more instruction, and you'll be finding that weekly rather. That'll be over at wealthyfantasyfootball.com, and providing I will give you some specific instruction, especially if you opt in my list, to be able to know some of these perfect lineups. Now, of course, nothing's perfect, but if you happen to hit one of these perfect lineups by chance, then you're going to win perhaps $1 million. That's not coming up right now. So keep that in mind. Even if you're not the perfect lineup, of course, maybe not at first, is because you're not a seasoned veteran, but a beginner, you'll still be able to come out ahead and win some money in daily cash lineups such as FanDuel and DraftKings. And if you're just playing in regular league, that's fine along with friends. You'll be able to be in a position, even as a beginner, I believe, to win out of a standard or PPR, which is points per reception. Just like this is here, you get a half point per reception. That's a key factor in scoring, in deciding and factoring your best scoring players, along with some of the other factors that I'm bringing out in my latest blog entry, putting this on the blog for wealthyfantasyfootball.com again. So you can find that there. I'll provide a link as well to be able to find more information as far as how I'm laying out your daily and season long league fantasy football rosters. All right. So hope that really helps you to understand better in constructing and beginning out and in fantasy football in general. Thanks.